Oh, it was a good football game for about 3.5 quarters, and got away from us at the end there, and we had a hard time stopping their outside zone, and they ran the ball very well. Took the air out of the ball, and that's what they do when they get more than a two score lead. It's difficult, or one score for that matter. But that's what you have to do to win this game, and we have we have all the ability in the world to do that. I think we tackled well in certain situations in the game. We had a guy come clean on a stunt in the first half, and he misses, and we had three other guys miss in the secondary, and then they run our scores towards the end of the half, and can't do that against a team like this. Had some, the quarterback is very, very good. Picked us. We weren't very good on third down on defense. We couldn't get off the field. When you get in third and long, you're only going to get one opportunity in a drive to do that against a team like this. So when you get that opportunity, you got to get off the field, and we couldn't do that. So that leads to a loss, and if we get off the field in those situations, it's a bit different game. If we tackle the guy in the backfield, it's a different game. You got to make those plays, and that was a little disappointing. I think we had two turnovers in the game. I think, right, and the fumble and interception. The fumble turned into a touchdown. So you can't do that. The interception was the game was kind of decided by then, but you can't turn the ball over. And there are some penalties that happen as well. That you got to win the turnover battle. You got to avoid penalties. You got to eliminate mental errors. And there were some things we didn't do well in certain situations in the game. There's some things we were really good at. We played very well in certain parts of the game, in certain parts of our team. So we can play well and go toe to toe with the number one team in the country, but you have to do it for 4 quarters, not just 3.5. So, any questions?
Rock, the fourth and I believe about a yard or a little less than the yard in the first half at about the 19. Was the thought of going for it more because it was such a short amount you had to pick up?
Yes, and we had made that decision on Thursday. As a staff, I brought up the staff, and we were gonna when we crossed the 40, it was 4 downs for us. We were gonna go for it, and if it was 4th and 2, we would have gone for it because we weren't going to beat this team kicking field goals. You're not going to beat them. You have to score touchdowns, and if we can't get a 4th and 1, then we're not going to win the game. It's just that simple. So I just think, I would do that. I'd do that 100 times over. That was we needed to score a touchdown, and we didn't get it done. So, that was a big play in the game as well. Couldn't move them and got stuffed and didn't get the first down. So.
In the fourth quarter, did those throwing windows tighten up for Tommy, or did they give you a little more pressure looks? Or
they came after him a few times. They were doing a lot early in the game too, on third down especially. They were playing some man-free stuff and pressing Dan. I thought Sobquist played very well. I think he was the best player on the field, in my opinion. But that's because he's our guy, I guess. But I thought he was really good. But yeah, we knew they were going to try to do that a little bit and try to run some rub mesh stuff as well. And they got us on a mesh route on third down. If you remember that, he was wide open, but we had him covered. But we got rubbed off and. We end up chasing him, and you can't do that. You gotta get yourself in position where you're trailing, so you don't get picked. And sometimes if you stay high or low, you're gonna get picked, or screened. It's not really a pick; it's a screen, and it's just gonna happen if you don't learn how to trail them. And if your trail technique isn't real good, it turns into what you saw. So, but the 4th and 1 was really important. Yes. I think the turnover, the offensive. You're thinking offensively, that was a big part of the game for them. Turning the ball over, we moved the ball very well. I thought to start the game and most of the night, to be honest with you. But when they knew we had to throw, then the game turns different, right? Because if I know you're going to throw and I'm a defensive coordinator, you're going to get dialed up, and there's really there's not a whole lot you can do about it. The pressure's coming, and they did that. So. That was pretty much, you talked about throwing windows, but yeah, he he had a hard time. You know, their throwing lanes were all, you know, up front were all taken up, and their hands up, and there were guys in those throwing lanes. So it's hard for him to get to release the ball and throw on target. So he ran into that in the fourth quarter. Yes.
You talked about big plays during the week and what makes them so effective at those big plays, and they come from so many different sources.
Yeah, they just got obviously very good players and good scheme, but you know, they that's how they play. I mean, they're they're really amazing. Actually, you know, they've done this for now 17 years, and you know, I take the first 2 years out, I guess, and after that, it's 15 years. They've been really good, and it just seems like they're the same team with different names on the back of the jersey. You know, it's the same players, and they've done a really good job. And three different coaches, right? So, and I just, yeah, they're just they have ways to, you know, hit you hard. And usually the quarterback is really a good athlete, and that's always nice. You know, we have a pretty good athlete at quarterback. He's not as big as that guy, but he's a good athlete, can run, and that helps you a lot. And you know, we had Trey Roberson here, and Matt Brown could run a little bit and was physical when he ran. So we've had some guys like that. They have guys in their skill positions that are good, very good athletes, and they're big and long and physical up front. So. Is that it? Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Ty Niekamp, mine left, Winkers right. We'll open up the questions for the players.
Tommy, right there, with them, I think 2 points down late in the third quarter. What do they do that kind of makes it tough to complete a game like that?
Yeah, I mean, I felt we kind of beat ourselves more. They're a great team. They do a lot of, good stuff. They're very disciplined in, what they do. I just felt, my execution and some of our execution with all 11 guys wasn't there on certain plays. So I think we kind of beat ourselves a little bit more. But credit to them, they played a great game. They did do different stuff on like third downs and all that. But I think we just got to hone in on our execution each play, make sure all 11 are doing their job, including myself.
Ty, what kind of challenges does Peyton present to you, quarterback?
The biggest challenge is his legs. He's fast. He's next level fast. He just got away from us today. And we kind of knew going into the game he's that guy that can run away from us. We saw it last year when he pulled it down and ran for about 80 yards. I think he had like 20-mile-per-hour speed on it. And he kind of did the same thing this week against us. And I think it's frustrating because we kind of had him in the pocket most of the time, but then he just found a way to get out. So I think the biggest challenge for us was just containing his legs.
You guys really controlled Bryce Lance, too, pretty well for the most part, except that one play.
Yeah, I think that's a credit to our secondary. They really came in ready to work this week. And they look great. We really had him, like you said, until that last play where he caught that fade ball. I think that's the frustrating thing is it's the one play that we want to have back. There's a lot of plays we want to have back, but the one play that kind of took the game over. And it's frustrating because if we get that back, who knows what happens, but they got it, and, of course, it was him, the guy, because big-time players make big-time plays in moments like that, and he did, so.
Tommy, can you talk through the fourth down in the second quarter? Coach said you guys knew during the week that you were going to go on fourth inside the 40. Can you talk us through that play?
Yeah, the one we didn't get. Yeah, I didn't do my part in kind of like tempoing out of it. I think I rushed it a bit and put myself in a bad spot to, for their guys to make a play on it. And, I was able to get to my second progression, was ready to throw it, but it was a little too late. So they, had the right call on. They made a play, and we didn't. So
For all of you guys, what are the emotions of playing them toe-to-toe for 3.5 quarters and not coming away with the win? What are the emotions after this?
It's frustrating. I think that's the biggest thing is frustration. I was telling the radio, we're so close. We're just so close to beating an elite team, and it's just it got away from us in the fourth quarter. And it's just us finding the moments that change the game, the little plays that change the game. You don't know when it's going to happen, but they're going to happen. And they won them, and that's why they're so good, and that's why we didn't win the game today, and we got to find those plays, make them so we can win the game next time.
Tommy, there were several passes to Sopkowitz where it looked like they had fairly tight coverage on him, and you two were still able to complete a pass. Just what does Daniel do so well to kind of come up with the ball in those situations?
yeah, I don't really know, and I don't know if you could get an answer out of him. But no, he works his tail off. I feel we got a good connection, and I trust him to make those plays, and he trusts me to put it in the right spots.
Anything else for the players? All right, thank you.
Thank you.